Hi everyone, it's Lynnea for Kindred Stamps today, and I'm going to be playing with the Happy Accidents stamp set. This is a cute little stamp set with a little man and some trees and a couple of cute little sentiments. So I have some Bristol Smooth paper, and I'm going to be using some Distress inks to blend a rainbow, and I'm using some of my favorite colors here. This is my first time ink blending on Bristol Smooth. People told me to try it out because they love how easily they blend, and they do. These inks blend so smoothly on this cardstock, but I found that it dulls the colors. They're not as bright as they usually are. So just keep that in mind when you're selecting your cardstock and papers for blending. So I blended my rainbow on, and then I'm just splattering on some clear water. And I'm going to grab a towel and blot up those water droplets. And you're going to see here that I didn't change where my towel was, so I transferred ink from my first panel over to my second. So I'm just blotting on a little bit more water. I have a little fingerprint there in the bottom, so I use water splotches to cover up any mistakes that I have. And look at that, you can't even tell, it's good as new. So I'm doing the stamping here with some VersaFine Onyx Black ink onto watercolor cardstock, and I'm going to be doing a layer of clear embossing over top of this little guy so that I can use my water markers here. I'm using the Staedtler markers. These are my go-to coloring medium. If you've watched my videos before, you know that this is how I prefer to color. So let's start here with a skin tone. I don't have a good skin tone marker, but I like watercolor because I can make my own. I mix the lightest pink and this little tan color, and then I bring in some water and blend them together, and just like that you have a nice fleshy skin tone. I'm just going to continue on coloring this image. Actually, I stamped two because I'm going to be making two cards. You saw me blending two backgrounds, and I'm going to cover up the backgrounds later with a background dye, and you'll see that. All I do to color is just add some marker around the outside edge. So you'll see for his hair here, I'm going to go around the outside and then around the inner edge of his hair as well. And then just again grab my water brush and blend that out. Really quick and simple coloring, not doing a lot of shading because I like how the water pools and creates almost like its own shading. So everything's all colored here. I'm just going to add some last little bits of color to the paint blobs on his palette here. And these markers, you can actually color with them like you normally would. I just like to blend them out with water because I like the look of water. Like I said, I like how it kind of pools and creates its own shadows and all that good stuff. So I stamped and white heat embossed the No Mistakes, Just Happy Accidents sentiment onto two strips of black cardstock. I'm going to leave the one edge long, and the other end I'm going to cut up the center, and then from each edge to that center point to create a banner end. And this is going to go behind my little character here. I'm going to pull in my backgrounds. This one I left on its own, but I die cut a background panel die and from white, and I'm going to layer it on there. The other one I die cut the rainbow ink blended panel, and I'm going to layer that over some white cardstock. So you're kind of going to get one look versus the other. Okay, so now it's just time to mount these, the characters and the sentiment onto my card with some foam tape. I used my T-square ruler just to make sure everything is straight. And I'm going to add some glitter to the black cardstock. I like to do that just to kind of step it up just a little bit, add some sparkle. And I thought I would add some Nuvo drops. I ended up not liking it, so I only did it to the one card. You can let me know which one you like with the drops or without. But I found a fancy new way to do it. I just squeeze a blob onto either my work surface or onto an acrylic block. This is about the size of what I would normally squeeze onto my project, so not much. And then I'm taking a stylus, dipping it straight in, and I'm going to put it straight down on my cardstock and lift straight up. And this is going to give me perfect round dots. And you can use the edge of a paintbrush. I've done that before. But this is just a trick that I learned lately. And it helps to, they dry quickly because you're not using a lot of the product. And it helps you get perfect little circles. And like I said, I only did it to this one card because I ended up not loving how it looked. So I left the other one without the dots. Let me know which one you like in the comments below. And that is it for these two cards. You can head over to the Kindred Stamps blog or to my blog to see some still photos and to learn more about the products I used and product links as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye!